hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, we got the restarts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. Spectacular fashion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watkins, Glen International, home of the famous race between Marcus Ambrose and Brad Keselowski back in 2012 when Kyle Busch got absolutely PO'd and Brad Keselowski for turning him right here in those S's that you see live here on V-Speed, and that whole back and forth, all that good stuff. If you don't remember what I'm talking about, you're not a NASCAR fan, because that's one of the best finishes that I've ever saw to a NASCAR race ever. So if you get a chance, go check that out after we get done with the next round of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series here live on V-Speed with Goat Locker. It's going to be a good one. Who will survive here at Watkins Glen? Stick around and we will find out. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got Daniel Cunningham, my good buddy, co-commentating with me tonight. Double L Lucas Lonzo Productions. And always got to give a big old shout out to the great Dougie Beard for the cameras that we're going to have for you here this evening. Daniel, I'm tongue-tied as all get out, but Daniel, buddy, how the hell are you? This is going to be a good one here tonight. Watkins Glen. This place is crazy right here.
Well, you know, I was doing a lot better before you reminded me about the Kyle Busch 2012 finish. That was not a good one for me because I am a Kyle Busch fan. So thank you for the reminder on that. But at least we've had a couple of Connor Zillage wins and SVG wins, Kyle Busch wins here since then. That has made up for that. But you are correct. This is going to be a fun one here this evening. Watkins Glen, one of those road courses that most of the oval guys are still pretty familiar with. Seems to be a pretty well staple on a lot of NASCAR schedules here on iRacing. And one thing that I'm really curious to see tonight, these next-gen cars are a handful on road courses, especially until you get a little bit of heat in the tires. They don't particularly stop very well, so turn one might be Calamity Corner on lap one. We'll have to see how that plays out, but we're definitely shaping up for a good one here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, turn one's always the fun corner. Honestly, the bus stop is the one that I always love because I always heard the party crowd's always back there in the back around that bus stop. That's usually when the party crowd is, where you got your whiskey, you got your beer, and you got your Talladega night lifestyle, if you want to call it that. But, I mean, that's pretty much what you're expecting. We'll give you a little track map on that here in a second. Do want to talk about the schedule that we got going on so far. With Talladega, Homestead, we had Atlanta. It was a good one. Then Watkins Glen right here. And then obviously, you know, you got Texas coming up in a couple of weeks, or well, next week rather. Gateway, Darlington, kind of get that old school feel. Then you throw a damn Daytona road course in there. And then back to somewhat old school, finishing out at Kansas, way down in December the 17th. The championship 4, doing that little playoff bracket style. But, you know, Daniel, you know, I say it each and every week that the most fun race was Talladega, by all means. I mean, it's always, you know, everybody, you know, what's your favorite race? Well, Talladega. I mean, obviously, because you never know what the hell's going to happen. This track right here could actually maybe not top Talladega, but it could be very close because this is the one of two road courses that's on the schedule where you have no idea what the hell is going to happen when you go to these road courses. I mean, they could stop, drop, and roll. I mean, you know, you could have them blow the corner and hit a wall head on. I mean, you could have a bunch of things. And I look at these races as wild cards. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. Just with the way that the next gen drives on road courses, it opens up the opportunity for drivers to make mistakes. It's a lot easier than we see at some of the other tracks to overstep that limit just a little bit and to get on the wrong side of it. So gonna be interesting to see how that plays out this evening. Let's also take a quick look at our race details while we're talking about what these drivers are going to be up against. 40 laps here this evening, relatively quick race here for Watkins Glen, 45-mile-an-hour pit road speed. They do have 3 sets of tires available in the pits. 2 green-white checkers, shouldn't need those. The only time we're really going to see a caution tonight is if there is a real track blocker as far as a wreck somewhere, maybe up through the S's or something like that. Are running full fuel, 31 to 34 laps on that fuel run, so probably not going to need all those tire sets either. But hey, Goat Locker's footing the bill for them, not me, so they're there if you need them in the pits this evening. Let's also take a quick look at our track map here for Watkins Glen International up in Watkins Glen, New York. 2.45 miles. See the different elevation changes there. Says that it's 7-turn road course. That's not counting the bus stop as a turn, so I don't really know how many turns this track has. We're going to say it's got 7, though. That number may be a little bit off. But, you know, Jake, something that we were doing back in the IndyCar series that you and I called back over the summer was we had a little segment called Around the Track where our producer, Lucas Lyons, would give us a little onboard, a little walkthrough of how to get around some of these road courses. And Lucas was gracious enough to jump into one of these next-gen cars, take a lap around, and walk us through it. So we're gonna check in with him and go for a lap around Watkins Glen.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another segment of Around the Track for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series at Watkins Glen International. Tonight we will be running the Cup layout for tonight's race here. Coming to our fly lap down into turn 1, which is a 90-degree right-hand turn. You want to brake at that freeboard and shift all the way down to second gear, trying to minimize as much wheel hop as possible and try to get as close to that wall on the left side as possible to get a good run through the S's, which you have to really feather the throttle to keep that rear end under you at the top of the S's. Coming to probably the most technical part of the track, the bus stop, you want to brake pretty heavily at first, get as close to that right side wall as possible, downshift to second after the right-hand turn, and just have a straight shot going in the bus stop and out of the bus stop. Into the carousel, you want to wait on the throttle as long as possible and get a good drive off and maybe go a little bit wide to keep that rear end underneath of it. Coming to the final 2 corners of Watkins Glen, it's more of a disciplined type of corners. If you drive a little bit too hard and go wide, you will lose time through here. So you just want to be patient, not use too much of the rumble strips. From my experience, these next-gen cars like to bottom out on that rumble strip, so have to be careful and see how drivers navigate that. As we've completed our lap around Watkins Glen here, we'll send it back up to Jake and Daniel in the booth to complete our pre-race show before we get to our starting grid.
Well, thank you, Lucas Lyons, for giving us that track tour, little track breakdown. You know, the biggest thing that I took away from that, Lucas actually ran, it was in the ARCA car. He ran in another series that he and I usually broadcast together here a couple of weeks ago in an ARCA car. And he put it in the cat litter over there in between turns 6 and 7. So I'm really proud of him for not doing that tonight. So shout out to Lucas for keeping it on track and giving us that walkthrough. But Jake, Getting down near the end of qualifying here, still got a couple of guys out on the track trying to get that lap in right here at the end of this qualifying session. So, getting down here where we're getting ready to give out that pole award and get this thing fired off here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing also about the Lucas Lines, around the track deal, oddly enough, no tire marks. No tire marks all over the place on that right there. So good to see that Lucas was able to get around the track in one piece and not slide the tires any way, shape, fashion for him. So got to give him a little bit of love on that. But real quick, do want to give a huge shout out to one of our great sponsors, which is obviously the title sponsor of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series, and obviously it is Cruisin Classics. And located in Columbus, Ohio, Cruisin Classics has a beautiful 56,000 square foot showroom filled with hundreds of unique automobiles. There is something for everybody out of their hand-picked selection of muscle cars and hot rods. Come on down to visit the facility today and check out their website at cruisinclassicsinc.com. All of it's one word, then you got .com. So make sure you get it right. cruisinclassicsinc.com. So thank you very much, Cruisin Classics, for their title sponsorship. I love looking at some of those hot rods in there. If I had the money, I would buy one of them damn things. But there's no way in hell I could pull it off. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't even have the money to fly up to Columbus, Ohio, and go up there and check it out. But what we're talking about is going to be a full lap right here over pace. We'll be able to get you lined up with every single one of them out here on the racetrack. And starting on the pole is the 23 of Ryan Pendleton, and also with Jam Printing and Promotions, the title sponsorship of the Pole Award winner. And since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed print and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, local and veteran certified. When they do well, they do good in the community. So thank you very much to Jam Printing and Promotions for the title sponsorship of the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award winner. And for your grid, here at Watkins Glen, Ryan Pendleton with that pole award. Cody McElwain starting on the outside, left side, however you want to look at it. It's all backwards right here, folks. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. But McElwain to start on the outside of row number 1. Cody Anderson rolled off from P3 with Brian Provo. A good run for him last night in the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series here on V-Speed with Goat Locker. They were at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama, roll tide to Provo. Going to try to go back-to-back on the road courses here tonight. They'll be rolling off P4. James Silver's in the 4 will start P5 with Big Daddy G. Jeremy Gardner rolling off from P6. Jamie Marcus, one of the big dogs here with Goat Locker. He's going to be rolling off P7 with Jamie Lemke rolled off P8. Jake Ellenson in the 27 rolled off P9. And Tyler Justice in the 33 rounding out the top 10. To you, Daniel.
Starting just outside the top 10, we've got Timothy Williams in the 86 rolling off 11th with Eldon Stewart starting in 12th. Starting at 13th is going to be Cody Bame in the 78. Charles Stevens to his outside in 14th. Starting in 15th, Tyler Evans in the 77. Alex Cruz in the 5 starting in 16th. 17th, going to be Charles Abert. James Kaufman to his outside in 18th. Rounding out the top 20 here this evening is going to be Claire Sisk and Matt Knights in the 64.
Right behind him, Dylan Canova will start in P21. Logan Sturge at 22nd. Stub Nation! Timothy Stubblefield rolled off P23 with Bobby Jermaine rolling off P24. And the caboose on the field, the 75. Big guns, the Marine, Chuck Pegleg Phelps. Obviously, will have the American flag flying. If he's got a virtual cam, I believe Lucas Lyon said that he's got a virtual cam. May get to slide through some of those virtual cams, let you see everybody, what they're actually seeing, and then you got the virtual cam on what we see, so you get to see all of it. But Chuck Phelps, Charles Phelps rather, will be starting P25 here this evening. They're already working their way up the back chute, fixing to go into I would say bumper car corner. Yeah, I know, Lucas. I know it's the bus stop, but I'm thinking of something different here. I'm thinking of something kind of wild right here, a wild name for this bus stop, because to be honest with you, I have no idea. Yeah, okay, you know what? We'll go with that. Lucas Lyons Avenue, because this is usually probably where those tire marks really was. But honestly, I have no idea why the hell they call it a bus stop, Daniel. I mean, I've never done any research on it, never looked at it. What's the deal with them calling it a bus stop right there? I mean, I don't understand that.
There's some kind of like actual historical reason why they call it a bus stop. I'll be honest, I don't know. You and I are we're both cut from the same cloth here. We're both oval guys. So y'all are stuck with us up here in the booth tonight, a couple of oval guys. I tried to tell y'all about these squiggles, the road courses, the left and rights. But Jake, they're getting ready to get this thing fired off. Ryan Pendleton leading them to green.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Daniel, this place, honestly, it is a road course, but sometimes we've seen it in the past, races like a short track. Maybe it will turn into that here tonight. Ryan Pendleton, Cody McAway, pace cars off. McAway to the left side, Pendleton down on the inside to the right. Green flag is in the air the next round of the Cruisin' Classics Next Gen Series with Go Lockers underway. McAway able to go through the gears a little bit faster, jump right in front of the number 23 of Ryan Pendleton. So far, everybody shoots through turn one just fine, working their way up through the S's. McAway with the lead, Pendleton going to second. Cody Anderson already got bypassed by Brian Provo. Now Pendleton under fire. Here comes Provo for second as they go into Lucas Lyons Avenue.
Yeah, Brian Provo with a really strong run here early on, already up to that second position. As you mentioned, you see these drivers snaking through the bus stop there. Everybody giving a lot of room, just being patient here, trying to get some heat into the tires as they head through the carousel. Battle is still on for that second position.
Yeah, and this is the stretch that I like to call Jeff Gordon Boulevard. If anybody's got any idea on that one, go back and look at some of the races where Jeff Gordon got T-boned right there. That's Jeff Gordon Boulevard, one of the craziest crashes that I've ever seen. But here we go, McAway coming around to complete lap number 1 of 40. Hits the line, McElwain leads, and Provo able to shoot around Pendleton. Already started fourth. He is already up to the second spot as they work their way down into Jimmy Johnson corner, if you will. I'm naming all kinds of corners here tonight, Daniel. I mean, hell, we got Lucas Lyons, Avenue, we got Jeff Gordon Boulevard, and then we got Jimmy Johnson corner. By the way, happy birthday to the 7-time champion. Had a birthday, it was either today or yesterday. So big props to JJ, the 7-time NASCAR champion. Happy birthday to him as they go into the bus stop.
Yeah, you could even call that exit of turn one David Ruderman turn there, whatever you want to call it, after he had that flip there back a few years ago. But up here with what we're watching, Provo and Pendleton still right on top of each other for that second position. McElwain out to about a 1-second lead. Cody Anderson with teammate James Silvers there rounding out your top 5. You can see as they come through the carousel, you can see there at the top of the camera, just using every bit of that runoff as they exit. You can see, I believe that was Charles Abert a little bit closer to the back of the field there. Looked like he was thinking about taking the boot for just a second. Keeps it on the pavement, gets it pointed in the right direction. Oh, is Eldon Stewart around right as we had the camera on him? Does a good job of did a good job trying to hold the brakes there, trying to avoid everyone. Did make some contact with the 25 of James Kaufman. Let's take another quick look at that if we can here. You see the back end just starts a little slow, lazy spin there. He's holding the brakes, trying to let people by, but just lets off just a touch early. There was another car around as we were watching that. That was actually one of our top 5 runners, Cody Anderson in the 20. He went around. He's back to the 16th position now. See what happened to him here. This gets through turn 1, and that's the challenge of this next-gen car, especially at road courses. It doesn't have the side force that a lot of the other NASCAR vehicles have. That once it starts that just slow, lazy spin, there really just is no saving it at that point.
I mean, there really isn't. I mean, with these cars, obviously, they don't have what we would like to call track bars. They don't have anything like that. They don't have anything, to that nature, which is not kind of an old school NASCAR setup, which is, what we have seen on the Gen 6 cars and so forth, we're way on past that. I mean, they don't. I mean, it's just the weirdest damn car I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, honestly, I've always had beef with this car, to be honest with you, but here lately it has been putting on some good races, and it always puts on a great race here with the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. So, hell, if it works for them, it'll work for me. I'm all for it. Cody McElwain already out to about a 2-second lead over Brian Provo. He worried about them tires not one bit, baby. Just burn them suckers up and let them eat. McElwain is gone. Provo trying to hold off Ryan Pendleton the best that he can. They got a little gap over James Silvers. It's about 2 seconds back from them. And the Big Daddy G, Jeremy Gardner, in the 57. That's a hell of a number right there. But Jeremy Gardner running in P5. See, Pendleton hits the wall coming off of the last corner. Good God almighty. Nobody's safe here tonight, Daniel. Nobody is safe. That's why I like to call this place as a wild card, because nobody is safe. You look at Provo way off the racetrack, almost hit the barrier as well. But these boys are holding on for dear life out here.
Yeah, and the weird thing with this next-gen car at road courses, now this is coming from people that are far better at road course racing than I am. They've actually said if you try to take it easy, it can take some heat out of the tires and make the car handle worse. So you almost have to keep pushing and try to keep the heat in the tires and drive it right on that edge. But it's just so easy to step over that line. So, you can see it right there with Jake Ellingson coming through the bus stop, getting a little squirrely right there out of that number 27 Lincoln Tech car. So you did a good job of hanging on to it there, but it really shows how easy it is to step over the line. And, speaking of Lincoln Tech, they're also one of our great sponsors that we've got here at Goat Locker. And Lincoln Tech's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They're one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses. They're a title sponsor here at Goat Locker and one of our biggest partners. Definitely appreciate their support in everything that we do here.
Absolutely. Lincoln Tech, obviously, the title sponsor of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series, which is what I was referring to last night with Brian Provo coming home with a podium finish after one of the craziest things I ever saw. I mean, the winner did not swap from the alternate tire. He didn't swap his tires out, and it busted him, and he got DQ'd. So Provo actually got bumped up a spot. He actually got bumped up to third. So he finished third last night, trying to ride that momentum, make something happen here tonight as well. But we flip-flop back here. We see some hellacious battles back here going on. I mean, and, these battles that you're seeing on the racetrack, these are just, this is Charles Stevens and Dylan Canova. Canova right there trying to ride in behind Charles Stevens, trying to figure out a way to make a pass, set him up, or just, I talked about push to pass last night, Daniel, but there is a different type of push to pass when we get to these Cruisin Classics Next Gen cars, and that is push them the hell out of the way because they're too slow. And there is a possibility we could see some of that here tonight with guys locking the tires up, because what you're talking about on these tires about wanting to take it easy, well, the track temp's already 121 degrees. So it's already hot as a mother out there as it is. So the track's already hot. You may, honestly, Daniel, I don't know if you want to go too fast or if you want to go too slow, because the tires is already going to be melted off of it.
Yeah, and I think, just kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, you really can't take it easy in these cars, because it's just, you do that and it almost makes them drive a little bit worse than, just taking it easy and trying to save a little bit of tire. But definitely leading to some good battles all throughout the field. A little bit further back, the battle for that 10th position between Timothy Wilms and Jamie Libke. Libke tried to take that position away, and as soon as I mentioned it, the broadcaster curse has struck. Jamie Limke with big damage to the front end of that 16 car. You're getting ready to queue it up and go on board. She has one of her cameras tonight. Take a look back on this V-Speed instant replay and see exactly what happened to the 16 here. Oh yeah, comes across the rumble strip there and just loses it. Just shows how easy it is for these cars to just lose all grip and all downforce. There was also another spin out of the 77. So right along on board here with the 77 of Tyler Evans. Believe this took place coming out of the bus stop. See exactly what happened. There was also another spin that I saw, the 78 of Cody Fame as well. And yeah, just gets in a little bit hot, catches the grass. We've got James Silvers up in the top 5, has spun as well, and also collected Jamie Barkis. The 4 of Silvers is sitting sideways right now in the middle of turn 7. Big damage. I'm telling you, Jake, there is stuff going on all over this racetrack. See if we can queue up the 4 here of Silvers and see exactly what happened through turns 6 and 7. See, gets up on that rumble strip and just upsets the car, almost collects Big Daddy Jeremy Gardner. Jamie Barkis just nowhere to go. Pretty substantial contact there as well. Jake, that was a hell of a lot and not a lot of time that just happened there.
Yeah. I mean, you're not even joking about that one right there. I mean, just so much. I mean, it's like I said, nobody is safe. And it's something I talk about all the time when we come to road courses. These tracks is way different than what you would say, than some of the tracks like where we go normally here for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Like next week when we go to Texas or we go to Gateway or Arlington or any of those tracks. Those are, hold on, hold my beer and watch this and let's see what happens. These are a little bit different. You can kind of look at these a little bit like Talladega. Just ride and just try to survive. The only difference is Talladega, you can really get caught up in a mess 9 ways to Sunday. Here, as long as you can keep all 4 wheels on the asphalt and not put them in the grass or the kitty litter, you're good to go. I mean, odds are you will come out of this sucker with a top 5 or top 10 rather, because there's 25 of them out there here tonight. If you're able to keep all 4 tires on the asphalt, you're going to come out of this damn thing with a top 10 because somebody's going to blow it one way or another. Somebody's going to screw up or one way or another because these guys, we already seen James Silvers get involved. We already seen Jamie Barkis. He already spun around. These guys up here inside the top 10, they're not going to stay up there much longer. Somebody's going to mess up sooner or later. You got to be in position to capitalize. Don't screw yourself out of a shot of trying to get a top 10 by trying to get too aggressive. Just stay on the damn racetrack and let everybody else mess up. At least that's how I've always raced at road courses. It never really worked out for me, but that's how I've always raced here.
Yeah, that's usually my mindset too, because I know I'm somewhere in the middle of the pack on a good day. So that's probably my mindset too. But as you can see here, Jamie Barkis did have a little bit of damage on the front of that 15 car. You can see it really well there on that right front fender as they head down into turn 1. Tyler Justice looks like he may be just a little bit faster right now, trying to find a way around Barkis, but again, we've talked about how easy it is to just overstep the limits. You can really see it here up through the S's. Tyler Justice closes in a ton through the S's. See if he can put the move on Barkis as they head into the bus stop. Barkis not going to yield that position. He's going to make Tyler work for it, able to hang on to it for now.
What a drive, and whoa, got one way back here in the back. Might have slipped. Is that Pendleton?
That
Might
is
have
Pendleton.
been Ryan Pendleton. Yes, it was. 23, Ryan Pendleton. Damn, guard break.
Oh, that is a huge hit. Wow, and it looked like he was just trying to go to the inside there of Sisk, and, wasn't really making like an evasive maneuver. Sisk was holding their line, not really being erratic with where they were going or what they were doing. But when Pendleton cut it to the right to try to get around, that car just did not like that at all. Take another look here. He makes it wasn't even a big move that he made to the inside there and just loses all grip, and that car is destroyed for Ryan Pendleton.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ryan Pendleton, was sitting up there at about the second, third position. What did I say just a second ago? These guys that's up here inside the top 10, they're gonna screw up one way or another. Hate that it was Ryan Pendleton, which was your Jam Printing Promotions Pole Award winner. Hate that for Ryan, but it happens all the time. It really does. It happens all the time when we come to these road courses, Daniel. Somebody up here in this top 10 is gonna blow it. You gotta be in position to execute and be able to make it to that point. So, that's going to move everybody up a spot. So now Brian Provo riding the highs. He's up to second. Now Gardner up to third. Jake Ellenson, he's up to fourth. Tyler Justice, he was able to get around Jamie Barkis. He's up to fifth. Barkis in sixth. James Silvers, that you see right here on your screen in the 4, hammering on Jamie Barkis now. Took a shot, went to the top, went back down to the bottom, come off the last turn. That turn, you see Silvers get a little wiggle, a little jiggle out of that 4. That is a hell of a turn. He may end up doing a little push to pass, locks him up, tags him in the back end. Canova right behind him as well. Silvers slips. Canova's coming. Barkis hits the wall right in front of him. Good God almighty, and Canova's almost going to turn Silvers in the asses. You cannot make this up.
Yeah, Jamie Barkis just lost the grip there, got into the wall. Very fortunate, honestly, that it didn't take out all 3 of those drivers right there. See if we can take one quick look back at that here on that V-Speed instant replay. Just when they were going down there through turn number 1, Calamity Corner. And, you talked about it, Jake, that Silvers got in there a little bit hot, locked the brakes up, didn't quite get into Barkis, and you can see it when Jamie hits that transition there on the rumble strip. It just upsets the car, just no warning, probably the same way he's went through there about a dozen times already, and around she went, and that's all it really took there. As Barkis actually in the wall again, he was still going after that, but he just had a lot harder hit to the tire barrier and the Armco. I think that might be the final nail in the coffin here for the 15 car. That thing looks pretty well toasted after this last hit.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely beat the hell out of the wall. I mean, a strange turn of events for Jamie Barkis, who was looking at prime position, possibly come out of this with a top 5. Bam! Hard impact into the wall. I mean, you saw how hard he hit it. Damn, comes back across the track in front of Timothy Williams, who was just innocent bystander. He was able to miss him. But Barkis, bam, into the wall, comes back across the track. Looks like a pinball bouncing off of the walls here at Watkins Glen. And, wow, I mean, just chaos. Chaos! We love chaos, Daniel. We love chaos. At least I do. I don't know if Eddie Smith and all of them with V-Speed does, but I sure love it. I love chaos, and we've already seen a whole lot of it. And we ain't even got to halfway yet, and we already got all this chaos popping off.
Well, and the wild thing is, Jake, there's even been a couple incidents that we haven't been able to talk about because of everything else going on. There was actually an incident between the 42 of Bobby Germain and the 78 of Cody Bame last lap. The two of them getting together in turn number 1. So we had that going on. Brian Provo had a little bit of an off track there. Timothy Stubblefield had an incident. So, we've been sitting here trying to get all of these incidents in, and we still can't even catch on all of them because of everything going on. And while all this is happening, back up near the front for the number 2 position, Big Daddy Jeremy Gardner, he is now within 0.8 of a second of Brian Provo in the 08. For somebody last week, Jake, that said they sucked at road courses and didn't have a whole lot of expectation, Big Daddy out here proving himself wrong with a pretty solid run so far.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job right there. That Save 22 Chevy doing a fantastic job. And speaking of which, while we're at it, why not? Save 22, obviously, is a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. Their unwavering mission extends to 4 critical pillars: shield, assist, volunteer, educate, save. Go check them out, save22.vet. Check them out. Great organization. I mean, hell, all these organizations are absolutely great. With Goat Locker, Daniel, I mean, all of them. We could just name one. I mean, Cruisin Classics, Jeopardy Promotions, Lincoln Tech, Save 22. We talked about all of them. And the big one that we never really get an ad for is iRacing. iRacing is also one of the great sponsors right here with Goat Locker, because if it wasn't for iRacing, we wouldn't be watching what Big Daddy G's fixing to do to Provo one way or another. He's probably going to hit the push to pass on him pretty good right here in a second. Maybe overdrive the corner, get into him a little bit, knock him out of the way. But, me personally, Daniel, a lot of people, give iRacing a lot of crap. They really do, because of how big the 72 gig update was, or this, that, this, and that. But a lot of people probably take it for granted, I guess you could say, with just how damn realistic this stuff really is, because it's way cheaper than getting or buying a race car for about 10 grand and then going out there blowing a tire, hitting the wall, and you're out 10 grand. This right here, you can start it out. Hell, you can spend 20 grand on a sim rig if you got the money and you're crazy enough. Or you could be like a simple setup and be like Timmy Hill, the race car driver, and race off his damn laptop. This is about as real as you're going to get, budget-wise, I guess you could say, for a race fan that wants to try to get into racing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'll tell you one thing that's pretty realistic is Cody McElwain doing his best SVG impression out here this evening. He's got the field pretty well covered. Kind of reminds me of some of those races that SVG's won this season. I know a driver that you enjoy talking about, Jake, somebody that you really enjoy talking about. But while he's out there absolutely stretching this lead over the field, this battle for second has heated up between Big Daddy and Brian Provo. They are absolutely going at it. Almost saw a little bit of contact there through turn 7. Almost saw a little bit more there as they went through turn 1. This battle's going to get ready to go back up through the S's.
Damn, both of them almost hit that little wall right there that just kind of sneaks out just enough to knock your damn fenders off. But both of them, Gardner trying to get the draft, shoot down to the inside of the bus stop. Is Provo going to give it to him? No, sir. Race him for it. That's what you do. Provo almost blows the corner, hits the grass. Literally shades of Marcus Ambrose, Brad Keselowski, with these guys racing right here at the halfway point. McElwain is gone. He's in his own area code. But this battle right here for second may end up being on the highlight reel with V-Speed and Goat Locker if this battle continues for the next 20 laps. This is a hell of a battle that we're watching right here, Daniel.
Yeah, as we ride on board with Jeremy Gardner, you can see he's just trying to be real smooth with his inputs, not cranking a whole lot of wheel into it, just trying to be smooth on the brakes, smooth on the gas as they get ready to head down into turn number 1. See, Provo takes a little bit earlier entry there than Gardner does. They both swing it out wide over top of those rumble strips. This is the section that I'm curious to see, is up through the S's, just the different lines that they take, especially with Gardner trying to keep some clean air on the front of that number 57. You can see it crossed the wake of the 08 just a little bit, lost a little bit of momentum as they got to the top of the hill. And here's Lucas Lyon's favorite part of the track, is the bus stop going through there. As you can see, Provo back through the grass again, doing that Marcos Ambrose impression again through the bus stop.
Yeah, really, honestly, shades of one of my famous calls that I ever made. These guys literally racing like they're in the Dukes of Hazzard, and Gardner's Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane trying to chase down the Dukes of Hazzard in the general lead. That's exactly what it looks like. And to be honest with you, you need to go ahead and call Uncle Jesky and tell him to get the whiskey ready, because these boys are coming to the house. Seriously, they are sending it at halfway. What are they going to do in the next 20 laps between both of these guys? And don't get too comfortable with that. You see Jake Ellison not too far back. sitting in the 4th spot. Tyler Justice only about 5 seconds back from him. So if these guys get into it, make some contact, and we end up seeing both of them get knocked out, Ellingson could get him a 2 for jump both of them. Justice could jump up to 3rd. We've already seen these, some guys that's been up here in the top 5. Think of Jamie Barkus being one of them that was up here. Ryan Pendleton, these guys was up here inside of the top 5 and had issues. Nobody's safe. I said it a while ago, nobody is safe as we're right here at the halfway point. Damn, Canova. Whoo, baby, almost got into Justice, almost set him going into the bus stop. I think I know why they call it the bus stop now, because, you got to damn near stop when you go through there, and if you don't, you got to run somebody over.
Yeah, you're not far off from that. Dylan Canova has really been chasing down Tyler Justice here the last handful of laps, made up a ton of ground. See, really close battle here for that final spot in the top 5. Canova, you can just see how much he's struggling with grip there as he went over those rumble strips, trying to get everything he can out of the car. But a little bit farther back up near the front, Jeremy Gardner has completed the pass for P2. He was able to finally get around Brian Provo. The 08 of Provo actually had a little bit of a bobble right there coming through turn number 1 that allowed Jeremy Gardner to get around. So put the 57 up to P2 now. And as you can see over there on the left, first of our green flag pit stops underway. Jake Ellingson, James Silvers, 2 of our top 10 runners that are now on pit road. Cody Bame on pit road as well. He had actually just had a spin running a little bit further back in the pack, 1 lap down. But I think that's going to open the window now for these guys to just basically split this race in half and go ahead and come down and get that last green flag stop out of the way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looked like Jeremy Gardner was going to do. Oh, boy, big battle. Oh, contact! Don't make it! He shoved him out of the way! Canova gets into Justice. Both of them go way off the racetrack. Almost into the kitty litter. Almost into the guardrail. Tyler Justice has got to be absolutely PO'd about that one. There may be some beef right here. We got to cue it up as we're going to check it out one more time. You see Canova coming out of the carousel, gets a run, dives down on the inside. Justice not wanting to have it. Justice tried to pitch him down there. There is contact. Both of them slide. Oh, good God almighty. We got beef out here. I think we got some beef right here, Daniel.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact between Canova and Tyler Justice. This battle is not over. Dylan Canova, Tyler Justice is still just a few car lengths apart as they head into the bus stop. Also, just a little bit of housekeeping. Cody Anderson had a nice recovery back up into the top 10 for that number 20 car. He actually just got tagged by the New York State Police for speeding on pit road. But this battle here, we're going to have to keep an eye on this. We've already seen him get the elbows out. We've already seen contact. If Tyler Justice gets the opportunity, Jake, you think he might be willing to give it back a little bit?
Oh yeah, push to pass will be in full effect. I got a very good feeling about that. He's gonna send it right here. He's gonna make contact. They're doing banging in the last turn. Justice sends it. Canova's trying to save it. Oh baby, Justice not happy about how Canova raced him right there. Gonna be even more contact. Still door banging going into turn 1. Justice sends it. Canova, both of them off the track. Canova trying to hold on, trying to pinch him up to the wall. Canova's able to get by. Oh Lord, I was talking about Gardner and Provo being on the highlight reel, but son, I think this one right here just topped it.
And right behind them is Cody McElwain, our previous race leader. He stopped. He made his green flag service. He is going to have to contend with this battle between these two drivers that probably ain't a whole lot happy with each other right now. Going to have to see how that plays out. Hate to see something like that happen where maybe McElwain gets caught up in somebody else's mess. But right now, it looks like McElwain going to be able to go to the outside. Got a little bit tight with Tyler Justice through the carousel on the exit there, but he's going to have the preferred line through turn 6.
They doored him going into the corner. Now Justice, he's going to slide back. Now his beef with Canova is in bad shape. As McElwain dives down to the inside, he will retake the lead. over Dylan Canova. So Cody McElwain, who has already, like you said, made his pit stop, he is good to go. He's pretty much gone at this point. Provo has made his pit stop as well, but he is way back here. You see where Provo is, about 22 seconds back from race leader Cody McElwain. And for the moment, everything's kind of calmed down, at least for the moment. But I got a feeling, I'm telling you, if Justice can get back to Canova, we may see some more sparks fly.
Well, nice of these drivers to give us a chance to catch our breath there for just a moment. I mean, that was just some wild battles going on. These drivers up on the wheel. While we've got a moment, let's go ahead and thank another one of our great sponsors that we have here at Goat Locker, and that is going to be Glove Station, another one of the great supporters we've got. And they are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of daily activities and jobs, from tinkering on home DIYs to working in industrial environments and everything in between. They got you covered with endless amounts of safety products on the market. They want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. And again, we appreciate their support here at Goat Locker. As you can see, that battle for second, while I was talking about Glove Station, Tyler Justice back out in front of Dylan Canova. These two guys are not going away quietly here. A little bit further back, Jake Ellingson and Brian Provo also battling for position. I believe Provo actually had another, we'll call it a little moment there just a few laps ago, where the car got out from underneath of him, allowed Ellingson to get around. So put the 27 now up into the top 5, and also pending that pit stop from our second and third place runners.
Oh, baby, I'm telling you, you got two big battles going on right here. You got Jake Ellison, Brian Provo back there. Battle still on for second with Canova and Tyler Justice. Look at this. Canova just shoving him through the corner. Odds are, I'm not 100%. They may be pissed off at one another. Then again, they may not be. But they are racing each other like they are mad at one another. I wouldn't be surprised if I slid down here and then along this, Canova blows the corner. Blew the corner. Justice able to jump away from him. And yes, as I look, no, they are not in the same chance, and they're not teammates, so there's a good possibility there may be beef here. Then again, maybe they're just screwing around, just trying to give us something to talk about. Hell, I don't know at this point, but we'll flip-flop back for a minute. We'll check out Provo trying to battle with Jake Ellenson with the Lincoln Tech car. Number 27, Ellison gets a little loose. Provo has, like you said, had his moments here tonight, but has been able to bounce back and try to get this top 5 right here that he's trying to at least try to make right here out of this. Certainly with Justice and Canova, when they jump down and then they make pit stops right here, this will cycle up, and then both of them will be battling inside the top 5. But certainly got to give a hats off to Brian Provo for the slips that he's had tonight, and he's been able to bounce back.
Yeah, still a really solid run for him. And while we're watching this battle, Jake Ellingson, one of our drivers that does have his cam on this evening, see exactly how he's attacking this racetrack as they head through the carousel. You can see that over there on the right-hand side. And, you know, one thing I'm noticing, I'm not seeing a whole lot of looks up into the rear view mirror there. Looks like he is mainly focused on what is ahead of him, not really paying a lot of attention to the pressure that the 08 of Provo is putting on. And just try to keep a nice steady wheel as he heads through the turns, and using an old school console gaming trick there. You know, the car always turns better if you lean with it while you're turning. I know, Jake, you had to have done that on the old NASCAR games or Need for Speed, all of them. It always turns better when you lean with it or you turn the controller with it. So a nice little touch there out of the 27.
Yeah, absolutely. And a nice little touch he had back there in the background. Had the Red Bull can back there in the background. I'm not sure if that was a beer box or not, but yeah, I did see a beer box back there. I'm not 100% on that, but check it out. We'll see what Lucas Slides is going to show us there. As you see, Jake Ellis said Provo was able to get around him. I do want to mention, I got to keep, because I'm still watching this battle. I'm watching that one, but I'm watching this other one. Dylan Canova and Tyler Justice, both of them are pitted. They both pitted at the same time. Both of them come out literally nose to tail. There you see Canova, and Tyler Justice is right there in front of him. Granted, we might be building this up for absolutely no apparent reason. There's a good possibility we're building this up for nothing. But very interesting because Canova is sending it, trying to get to Tyler Justice as much as he possibly can. Not able to make it right there coming out of the carousels. They go down Jeff Gordon Boulevard into the final 2 turns. But just something to note out of that is both of them pitted at the same time, and they're not on the same team. But both of them trying to race one another and trying to at least get the better hand of the other one. I wouldn't be surprised if we may see some more contact out of both of these guys.
Yeah, and one thing about it, too, when they were racing each other before they came down pit road, they really weren't doing themselves any favors. Oh, as you can see, Canova sends it down into turn 1, locks up that right front tire, able to keep it off of Justice. Oh, boy, what a move he just about put on there, able to keep it off of him. But, you know, between being on older tires and just the way that they were racing each other, they were running about 2 to 3 seconds a lap slower before they came down pit road than the rest of our front runners. So, you know, that may have cost them a little bit of track position, but now they've got those fresher tires. As you can see, had to take a little bit of an evasive maneuver there. That is James Silvers, who was one of our top 5 cars. That car is absolutely killed. Take a look on the replay real quick here and see what happened to Silvers in the 4 car. Oh, catches a little bit of the grass through the bus stop and nose first into the tires. And you could see the smoke coming off of that car. I think that's going to be all she wrote for the 4, is showing a meatball there now for James Silvers. Oh, is that's Canova around?
Oh, my gosh.
Jake, you might have to cue it up again here. Let's take a look at what happened between Tyler Justice, Dylan Canova. Not saying that there was contact, but we've seen it a few times here this evening. Oh, yeah, there was definitely some contact there. Little wiggle out of the 70 of Canova, gets up into the 33 of Justice, but Canova definitely getting the worst of that. I think they may have even made a little contact coming off of turn 6 there. And just, again, we've seen it time and time this evening. When that car starts to step out in the rear, it's just, you're not saving it. It's done at that point.
No, if that's going to warrant that, you know what? Why not? Screw it. We'll go ahead. We'll throw it in there, see what happens out of it. Yeah, I mean, both of them was battling so hard. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, just absolutely throwing haymakers. 9 times out of 10, that is going to happen. But we see on our screen a driver that we hadn't really talked a whole lot about. 84, and that is Charles Stevens. Haven't talked a whole lot about him. He started 14th, up 7 spots. Very quiet night for Charles Stevens. I talked about this a while ago, Daniel. You don't have to be the highlight reel. You don't have to be the highlight reel when you come to Watkins Glen. You could be one of those guys where it is very, very quiet night for you. Don't do nothing crazy like I talked about. Let some of these other guys get up here, mix it up, let them do something crazy and be able to bypass them and take advantage of when they screw up. And another driver that's able to do that. Now, granted, he's a ways back, not too far back from Charles Stevens, but that yellow car way back there behind him, that is James Kaufman. He's up 10 spots. He started 18th. He's up to 8th. So, very quiet night. Now, granted, he's got Dylan Canova right behind him, and he's already a little bit ticked off. So, you know, he's probably going to end up jumping around Kaufman. At least he's going to try to right here. He's able to, but still got to give a shout-out to that 25. James Kaufman started 18th. Now he's running in the 9th spot, but still up, up 9 spots from where he started. Doing what you need to do. Don't be the damn highlight reel. Just come out here and get you a solid night, very quiet night, get you some points, get the heck out of here and go to Texas next week.
Yeah, and there's a couple other drivers that kind of fit that description as well. You see Timothy Wilms running in the 6th position, only up 5 from where he started, in 11th place, but still really solid night out of him. Just been quiet, kept it on track, minded his business. Gonna, at the rate that he's going, gonna get a solid finish out of it. Take a look a little bit further down the top 10 running order. Alex Cruz sitting there in the 10th spot in that number 5 car. Actually just went a lap down to our leader, Cody McElwain. But, you know, that might be a smart strategy idea. You go a lap down, you got one less lap to go out there and screw up. So I like it. I mean, he's running in the top 10. He's kept the car clean. You can see there ain't a mark on that Alexander PC machine. And just, of course, as I say that, he dips the right sides down into the grass. No harm, no foul. Got through there pretty clean. So, you know, just another one of those drivers. You talked about it earlier, Jake, that, you know, sometimes if you're not a road course guy, all you got to do is go out here and just keep it clean, run your race, and you can still get a pretty decent finish out of it.
And he's doing a fantastic job being able to try to make that happen. As you see them now, Charles Stevens trying to work his way around Timothy Wilms right there in front of him. This is a battle for position. Two guys that have been very quiet tonight and have more or less threw that out the door and said, screw it, we want to get on the highlight reel, get our name called. And battle for the 6th position could be heating up right here between Wilms and Stevens. And, you know, honestly, you know, I mean, this could be a pretty cool, interesting deal here with these guys for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series with Goat Locker. And speaking of Goat Locker, with, you know, what they stand for and all the cool things and all the cool sponsors, got to give another shout out to one of the great sponsors, which is NVATS. NVATS, great sponsor here with Goat Locker. And NVATS aids in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They are a veteran nonprofit in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to Indiana to live and work. And they are also the title sponsor of the NVATS Xfinity Series that runs on Sunday with Goat Locker here on V-Speed. So thank you very much to NVATS for their sponsorship, their love for this league, and also for what they do for the veterans. I mean, you know, it doesn't go. I mean, we don't talk about it enough, and we damn sure should, Daniel, because, you know, for the veterans that sacrifice for this country, they don't get the love that they should get. And, you know, so it's great to see that this race league does a whole lot. The Goat Locker Racing, Patrick Dravick, Jamie Barkus, and all of them does for the veterans and for the people, or for the men and women that sacrifice everything for this country. That way that we can sit here and do this, you know, and be free and you know, call races and get beef and watch, you know, somebody get doored or get took out or whatever, but also have the freedom, you know, to choose what we decide to do, have the freedom to choose what we do with our kids and everything else. So, I mean, just all of it comes full circle, which is why, obviously, we're big, proud supporters of Goat Locker and everything that Patrick Dravick, Jamie Barkus have accomplished here with Goat Locker Race.
Yeah, it's really awesome just to see what they do with, like, the sim rig giveaways, just having, you know, a community for veterans to hang out and talk and come out here and race and just have a little bit of a getaway or an escape, however you want to word it. So a lot of really awesome things that Goat Locker does. And, you know, seeing such a large military and first responder presence is really awesome as well. Let's take a look here. We were watching this battle for position. Dylan Canova on the comeback trail. He's now up to the 6th position. I think Charles Stevens and Timothy Wilms probably said, you know, maybe might be a good idea just let this guy get on by here with as quick as he caught us. Just go ahead and try to settle out that 7th position there between the two of them. But, yeah. A lot of awesome stuff that Goat Locker does with veterans. Another awesome sponsor that we have that actually just recently came on board is MK Fire Designs, and want to give them a quick shout out, especially with this being a road course race. MK Fire Designs came on board to sponsor our Saturday Night GT3 series, another series that is broadcasted here on V-Speed. So check that out on Saturday nights if you haven't already. Appreciate their support. I've looked at their social media page as well for MK Fire Designs, and they have some really cool stuff that they come up with, and actually seen something that they had at the Sim Expo, I believe it was, for Goat Locker, an awesome design that they came up with. So definitely check them out.
Absolutely. I mean, just awesome stuff all the way around. I mean, and another thing, real quick, shameless plug. I mean, while we've got a minute, we only have 5 to go. We want to go ahead and mention that. I mean, Cody McElwain's out here just ripping it. I mean, he's taking them all to the woodshed, but shameless plug. If you get a chance, and obviously, if you got your podcasts out there, you listen to your podcasts, go check out Goat Talk Live, one of the podcasts with Goat Locker. They talk a lot about what goes on with Goat Locker, and keep it up with the Joneses, I guess you could say, with everything with your Goat Locker needs. And also my podcast as well, the Door Banging Download. If you haven't yet, check it out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, go check all that good stuff out. Gets a little beefy, gets a little bit uncensored, maybe a little bit too far for some. Actually, real quick, Daniel, I was going to upload that stuff on YouTube, but then I got told no, just because it does get a little bit too iffy for some audiences, and I heard that they would take it down, so that's why we just keep it on Apple and Spotify. But I mean, if you want a good laugh, and some real stuff, talking about real stuff, and then also getting a good laugh. You and Lucas was the past 2 guests that I've had on the show. But get a chance after the race. You're driving to work tomorrow, you want to listen to a podcast, go check out Goat Talk Live, and also the Door Banging Download. Excuse me, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, I think that episode with me and Lucas very well may have ended up getting you pulled down off of YouTube, just with the back and forth we had. But it's all fun.
Later.
It's all in good fun. But speaking of fun, the 84 and the 86, they are having a blast out here right now. They are throwing this position back and forth between the two of them. We saw Charles Stevens make a really nice move down into turn 1 on the prior lap. Got a little bit loose there through turn 7 on that last lap. Allowed the 86 of Timothy Wilms to get back by him. And Wilms starting to put just a little bit of a gap here between himself and Charles Stevens. So this battle, as we approach 3 to go here, getting down getting down close rather to 2 to go, this battle is far from settled. And if you look right there behind them, just starting to creep into the picture, that's our leader, Cody McElwain, that's getting ready to actually put these 2 guys a lap down. So they may not have as much time as they think they do to get this battle settled out.
Yeah, they better find out pretty quick where they want to go and how they want to do it. Now, McElwain's got about a 26-second gap. Well, I'll make it 24 now. Gardner able to close in just a little bit. But, if McElwain, coming to 2 to go right here, I think Cody McElwain has pretty much got this sucker in the bag. Unless something crazy happens, unless Wilms and Stevens, they get mixed up, they door bang, and all hell ends up breaking loose in front of McElwain, then he may need to worry a little bit. But McElwain could be on the, or the instance of just ride. Just take it easy at this point and let these guys up here battle this out. I mean, this is the last spot, on the lead lap, 7th and 8th that we're watching live here on your screen. So McElwain could be in that boat of just sitting there and saying, you know what, I'm just going to ride, let these guys go ahead and duke it out. And see what happens, unless Charles Stevens drives it off a track, and then it's going to be pretty much over with. But Charles Stevens, he's got him another lap to see if he can try to run down Timothy Wilms right here.
Yeah, and actually, I just heard Cody McElwain come over race comms, and he was basically saying, hey, don't worry about me. Y'all go out there and race. So they are going to have the full circuit to go back at it here. They're coming to 2 to go. Cody McElwain coming through turns 6 and 7. And you had said it. He's pretty much just taking these boys to the woodshed tonight, getting ready to come to the white flag for the number 6.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, got to give credit to Cody McElwain and give credit to Timothy Wilms, Charles Stevens, as we are on the white flag lap. But if I'm Charles Stevens, hell, I'd have pulled over and I just let Cody McElwain just go right ahead. That way you wouldn't even have to worry about that extra lap. I mean, that way when Cody McElwain was done, you were done. You didn't have to worry about nothing. But it is what it is. So they'll have to go an extra lap. But, I mean, what more can you say about this number 6 right here, Cody McElwain, folks? I mean, he has pretty much, like I said, he took them all to the woodshed. Pretty much from the start, he started on the outside of the front row. Obviously, Ryan Pendleton was up there on that front row. He was leading, but McElwain took the lead in turn 1, and he really hadn't let up since. I mean, he is literally checked out. He is gone. He's done what he needs to do. I think he's led every single lap. Well, no, actually, he pitted early, so there was a couple other drivers that might have got some extra laps out of this, but he's definitely got the most laps led. Number 6. And Vance, baby, how about you? Cody McElwain through the final 2 turns. Number 6 Ford, getting it done. Gas it up off the final turn. Your race winner here tonight. Led 38 of them, and obviously the big one, Cody McElwain wins it at Watkins Glen in dominant fashion. See him going through turn 1. Hell, Jeremy Gardner hadn't even got into the last turn. Now he's going to go through the last turn. He's got Provo a couple of spots behind him, but Gardner will get second. Provo will get third. But the night belongs to the number 6 of Cody McElwain.
Yeah, Cody just absolutely dominating performance. Led all but 1 lap. Only one that he didn't lead was that one during the pit cycle. Going to take a quick look at this battle for position, though, that we were covering earlier while these drivers come around to finish up their cooldown lap. That's Wilms in the 86. He's in 7th. Charles Stevens in the 84 in 8th. These drivers had been going back and forth quite a bit. It's like Wilms for right now looks like he's got that position held unless there's a bobble here through this last set of turns. But really close racing between both of these drivers as they come back around to finish this race. They are going to finish with Wilms in 7th and Charles Stevens in that 8th position.
Cody McElwain dirt tracking it right there off the last turn. You mentioned it. Only did not lead 1 lap, but still pretty much, I'll go ahead and call it like it is, pretty much put on a SVG performance here tonight with the number 6, burning it down right here on the front straightaway. And pretty much, like I said, took him to the woodshed, was able to pull it off here this evening and make it happen here tonight. Hell, we got guys actually still trying to come around, trying to finish the damn thing. And here he is out here burning it down as well. Ellingson coming through as well. Got a couple of them going to go out here, maybe do some burnouts and pretty much just celebrate the win here tonight. Obviously, with Goat Locker Racing, all those teammates working it around there as well with Alex Cruz, Brian Provo, Jake Ellenson, obviously Cody McElwain. All 4 of them burning it down on the front straightaway. We're going to let them do that. We're going to step aside, let you hear from some more great sponsors here with Goat Locker. We'll be back with the race results, your podium finishers, and final analysis. Don't go anywhere. We will return.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Well, alrighty, folks, we are back here at Watkins Glen. What a race here tonight. It was pretty much a woodshed burner, if you will, with Cody McElwain getting the win. We'll check out your race results real quick on your screen. Cody McElwain with the win, started second, led all but one lap. But doesn't matter how many laps he led the last one, and that's one that counts. He gets the win here tonight. Jeremy Gardner started sixth. He will finish second here this evening with Brian Provo matching up a third from third last night. We'll talk to those drivers here in just a little bit. Jake Ellenson will finish fourth with Tyler Justice finishing in fifth. Ironically enough, Tyler Justice fifth. Dylan Canova finished sixth. They wasn't close. I mean, they were 6 seconds apart, but ironically enough, they still finished close to one another. As far as the running order goes, Dylan Canova, mind you, started 21st. He finishes sixth. A good run for the 70 here this evening. Timothy Wilms was able to beat out Charles Stevens for seventh. Charles Stevens will get eighth. Those were the last drivers on the lead lap, and the final drivers in the top 10 is Alex Cruz and Eldon Stewart. Good bounce back for Eldon Stewart. He spun out earlier on when he comes back and gets top 10.
Finishing just outside the top 10, we've got James Kaufman in 11th and Tyler Evans in 12th. Charles Abert going to come home in that 13th position with Matt Knights in 14th, Claire Sisk in 15th. Cody Anderson, after a couple of spins, not the night he was looking for, in 16th. Cody Bame in 17th. James Silvers, again, had a couple of incidents on the evening. He finishes in 18th. Chuck Pegleg Phelps in 19th, and Bobby Germain rounds out the top 20.
Then Jamie Barkus finishes 21st with Ryan Pendleton. Hate to see that for him. He was your Jam Printing Promotions Pole Award winner tonight, but unfortunately will finish 22nd here this evening. Stub Nation, Timothy Stubblefield finishing 23rd with Jamie Lipke finishing 24th. And Logan Sturgeon finishes 25th here tonight with the 25 drivers to race it here tonight at Watkins Glen. But the man of the hour, I'm sure he would like to go ahead, bounce out of here, go ahead and get this interview over with. And he would like to, oh, crap. Yeah, you was really going to do that. Sorry about that, Daniel. I was going to hook you up, help you out. But I'm sure this guy would like to go ahead, celebrate, get it over with. Cody McElwain, buddy. Damn.
Hey,
Woodshed. Good Lord, took him to the woodshed. 39 laps led out of 40. What a win. Congratulations. Tell us about it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I run road courses all the time and GT3s and the prototypes and all that good stuff. And I know that they're wildly different cars, but I've always said that the, braking technique and all that good stuff transfers over. So, I always look forward to these road courses just because I always feel like I have a good chance at a win. And I hate it for Ryan Pendleton because I think we were going to have a really good race all the way to the end, and I think he just got into a little had a little mishap with a lap car. But anyway, yeah, man, just happy to get a win, and looking forward to the next one.
Well, really solid start to the season already with 2 wins here on the season early on through 4 races. How are you feeling about next week with Texas coming up? I mean, you can't get much different than going from Watkins Glen to going to Texas. You feel like that's another one that you can go out and win, or how are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, you're right. They are wildly different. Texas isn't my favorite track, but I feel like I've always done decent there, and it's going to be just like every week with the ovals, man. You just gotta, take your time. Don't drive over your head and be there at the end. And if you're anywhere around the top 5, top 3 at the end, you always have a shot. So that's what I try to do, is just put myself in those positions and go from there. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But just try to be there at the end. We'll see what we can do.
Cody McElwain, buddy, you took him to the woodshed, but not only did you take him to the woodshed, you beat that damn thing down, literally knocked it down, got it done here tonight at Watkins. Congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors and any shout-outs.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout-out to the sponsors here at Goat Locker Racing, Lincoln Tech, Save 22. I'd like to give a special shout-out to the title sponsor of this series, Cruisin Classics and Nasty's Bar and Grill. Let's see. And I'm sorry, the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. Can't leave those guys out. And just every other sponsor that's involved with Goat Locker in any capacity. We couldn't do this without all of them, and we appreciate them. And we appreciate you guys in the broadcast booth, man. Y'all do a great job.
Yeah. Don't forget about MVets. I mean, hell, they're on your car. I mean, you forget about them. They may not be sponsoring you next week when we go to Texas, buddy. But congratulations on the win, and congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next week at Texas, Cody.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Have a good one.
That was Cody McElwain, and wild race right there for him. We'll go to second place finisher, Big Daddy G, Jeremy Gardner, 57. Comes home in second, started 6th. Jeremy, buddy, I got to call BS, okay? Because last week you sit there and you said, well, I don't expect nothing. I'm not a big road course guy. And then you come out of nowhere and you come out with a second here tonight. Real quick, what the hell? I feel like you lied to us. You not only lied to us, but you lied to everybody out there in the live chat. That is very unfortunate. But congratulations on the finish. Tell us about it.
I didn't lie. I ain't no road course racer in these things. I don't know. Tonight was just a game of luck, to be honest. Hell, I had a 5th place car or 6th place car, but luckily, not really lucky. I hate for Ryan and all them, but hey, you gain positions how you gain them. Honestly, I was just trying to play it smooth all night, man. That track position was hell. It was like 120, and you got up on the throttle too soon. You're going to know it.
Well, good run on the second place. And, we saw a lot of drivers throughout the race were kind of struggling whenever they get up on those rumble strips, just with that transition either onto them or off of them. How were you able to manage that, or did you just try to avoid using those rumbles in the runoffs any more than you had to?
Yeah, I didn't use them unless I had to. It was kind of nice though, being able to go through turn 1 finally and be able to use that extra little bit of runoff. It was super bumpy though, so I had to kind of be patient on the throttle through there. But yeah, I just try to minimize it tonight. Just try to make the least amount of mistakes. Hell, I was trying to give broadcast a good show with Provo right there, man. We were hustling right there. I was just trying to keep it clean. So shout out to him for running clean right there.
Well, I called that one. I guess Lucas Lyons owes me 5 on that one right there. But Jeremy Gardner, buddy, congratulations. Yeah, you do. But Jeremy Gardner, buddy, congratulations on the second place finish. Appreciate your time. And before we let you go, thank your sponsors and any shout outs.
Yeah, man. Pat and Jamie, always GLR, Jam Panica Promotions. My guys at Premier Racing Setups. Of course, y'all guys, y'all put on a hell of a broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it. Alexander PCs and Cruisin Classics and Nasties for putting on a series. Appreciate them for everything they do.
Jeremy Gardner comes home second here tonight. Big Daddy G in the house. Congratulations, buddy. Next week, Texas. We'll see you there.
Let's go.
That was Jeremy Gardner, comes home with second here tonight. Now we go to third place finisher, Mr. Brian Provo. Brian, buddy, you come home with a third last night in the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series at a road course. Come home third here tonight at Watkins Glen and a stock car. Congratulations on the third place finish, but these road courses seem to kind of suit you a little bit. Why is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just feel a little natural. And today, that car was a beast to drive. Knowing Watkins Glen very well, I would say helped me a little bit and being able to adapt that tough car to drive tonight to that track. So I just say, just practicing for those guys out there trying to get up there with those fast guys. Just you got to put in the laps to be able to catch up with them because they're consistent and they don't make many mistakes. So it's kind of how I try to go about it.
Well, really solid run with the third place this evening. We had kind of seen there was a couple, I don't want to say spins or anything like that. They're more like half spins or just little incidents that you had. Do you kind of feel like maybe if you would have been able to keep it clean that you might have had something for Cody McElwain tonight?
I don't know. He's always fast. He's fast every week and all racing. Maybe if, again, that kind of goes back to get against those fast guys, those elite drivers in this series, you have to also not make any mistakes. So I got to, myself do a little better on that, a little bit more consistent, holding the car together, knowing that, those drivers up front aren't going to make those same mistakes. So,
and before we let you go, thank your sponsors, any shout outs.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, huge shout out to Cruisin Classics and Nasty's out in Ohio, sponsoring this series. Cruisin Classics, one of our oldest sponsors for Goat Locker itself. iRacing for all the things they do for us. MK Fire and Design for joining us this year. Sim Motion, and obviously Goat Locker Racing, and you guys putting on a heck of a show tonight for us. So thank you.
Well, Brian Provo comes home third here tonight, buddy. Congratulations on the podium finish. Appreciate your time. We'll see you in the Lone Star State next week.
Yeah, thank you. See ya.
That was Brian Provo. Comes home with third here tonight. And Daniel, buddy, final thoughts on the tricky turns, the S's, and all the chaos we saw here tonight at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it definitely lived up to what we kind of expected as far as just the car being hard to drive. A lot of people moving up and down throughout the field. Saw a lot of good side-by-side battles, which you don't always get at road courses with things getting strung out. So a lot of good racing all over the track here this evening. But next week, we're going to be back at our wheelhouse, back on the left turns, not having to worry. At least, God, I hope we don't have to worry about turning right at Texas. We're going to be at Texas Motor Speedway, and you can see there next week, September 24th, 8 p.m., same time, same place. Jake, I know you got to be excited for us to get back into the ovals next week.
God, yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to get the hell away from these road courses. Nothing against them. They always, buddy, the road courses always put on a fantastic show. They really do. But oval racer at heart, old school NASCAR fan at heart, you got to give the love to where everything started, at least for me. So, but yeah, absolutely, it's going to be a good one next week. So make sure you mark your calendars, get your time right. September 24th, next live here on V-Speed at Texas Motor Speedway for the next round of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Well, folks, Watkins Glen, honestly, if I had to pick a damn road course, this is it. This is the one road course that I would actually prefer out of all of them. Honestly, I don't think they need to have the Roval. Sonoma, it sucks. Circuit of Americas, no. Chicago Street Course, thank God that it's not even there anymore. So Watkins Glen would be the one if you're going to have a road course. This is the one because there's so much history, so much tradition, so much chaos that happens here. I'm all for it. And it absolutely lived up to the hype here tonight with the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast. I want to obviously thank all our great sponsors: Jam Pretty Good Promotions, Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Invents, Nasty's Restaurant Bar, Glove Station. Cannot forget about the title sponsor of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series, which is Cruisin Classics. Also want to thank Above the Yellow Line podcast and iRacing for all that they do here with Goat Locker Racing. Shout out to the drivers for putting on a show and the fans for always coming out in big old numbers. Patrick Dravick, Jamie Barkus over at Goat Locker for what they do and allowing us to come in here and call the races, and also give a huge shout out to Adam Baker, Bradley Cooper, Eddie Smith, everybody over with V-Speed. Trusted us to do our jobs and not screw it up, which seems like we do. We don't do that bad unless it's Daniel Cunningham screwing it up one way or another on a commentator's cursor. I do it from time and time again, but appreciate all of those guys over at V-Speed for what that they do. From Double L, Lucas Lyons, and also for Daniel Cunningham, I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. And as always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. Thank God Almighty, Oval Racing is back at it next Wednesday night. Lone Star State, get your cowboy hats ready and get them 6-shooters. No Limits, Texas. Who is going to get it done for the next round of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series? Oh, baby. They always say everything's bigger in Texas. We're going to find out next Wednesday night, live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live and only on V-Speed. We'll see you there.